Hi, this is Kristen from the Sexual Violence Center. I'm the director. I'm also an advocate here. Sexual Violence Center, or SVC, is what's called a Rape Crisis Center. So we are a dedicated support space for people who have had sexual violence come into their lives. And that's any form of sexual violence. So from sexual assault or rape to sexual harassment in the workplace or school, street harassment, anything that might be happening online, like the sharing of sexually explicit images without someone's consent. We work with people from all walks of life and all ages, 12 and above. And it doesn't matter to us if they are citizens, what language they speak. We support people of any gender. Our advocates are also from any gender. We have male, trans, gender nonconforming advocates, not just female identified advocates here at SVC. And we know why we're so busy. We see that sexual violence is a tool of oppression that's used in our society. Some people have more power than other people, and they exploit that power to get their sexual needs met in unhealthy ways, and it can impact and does impact anybody from any walk of life. And the one thing that they all have in common is that they didn't deserve to have it happen to them. It wasn't their fault, and they deserve support now moving forward, and that's where we come in. So we offer free support services, and they're pretty simple, actually. We let people know that we believe them because our experience tells us that we should. That what happened to them was not their fault, because we live in a world that too often tells victims and survivors otherwise, that there's something that they did wrong that caused this to happen in their lives. And then we talk to them about options for moving forward. What would they like to have happen? We believe that when someone has experienced sexual violence, that their power has been taken away from them. Their power over their own body, their most fundamental right to be able to decide what happens to their body. And so our model is about bringing their power back. So we offer the option of making a police report. Most people don't take us up on it, but for some who do, we actually have an office here in our space where law enforcement will come here and take the report right here, with one of our advocates offering support through that. We offer individual counseling. We have a range of support groups, including a weekly drop-in group, and that's for anyone from any walk of life. It includes support people, so it could be, me, it was my body, I suffered the violence, or maybe a parent or a friend of someone who is trying to heal from sexual violence. They come together. Every Monday night is when our group is, and talk about coping skills and how to be able to support other people and how to be able to receive support themselves to be able to move forward. We have a 24-hour crisis line. We also at the Sexual Violence Center respond 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to 11 hospital emergency rooms. So if someone goes to the ER, in 3 counties, so Hennepin County, Carver County, and Scott County, we are actually automatically called by the hospital to go there and offer support to folks as they are getting the sexual assault exam done, or the forensic exam, and support from a nurse. And we can also help people move forward from there. We don't have shelter in this space, but we work with a lot of great shelters. So if we meet someone in the hospital, they don't have anywhere to go, we can help connect them with a safe place to stay. We offer legal resources and advocacy. We support people as they file for restraining orders. If they need a lawyer, we can help connect them to one. We want to be a one-stop shop for whatever someone might need. When sexual violence has come into their life, it's obviously a real struggle. And we want their lives to be a little bit better off because they came in contact with us at the Sexual Violence Center. We work through an advocacy model. So we're not therapists. We actually train community members to do our work. It's a 40-hour training per statute. And then we join together. We really consider ourselves an office of paid and unpaid advocates. So us on staff, we work shoulder to shoulder with our volunteers to respond and be there for people through some of the worst times in their lives. And our work can be traumatic. Secondary trauma is real. And I know this sounds a little bit nutty, but go with me. I say to our new advocates that, in a way, think of the Sexual Violence Center like a nuclear power plant. If you work in a nuclear power plant, you may be exposed to unhealthy levels of radiation. It's not your fault. It's not because you're weak. It's just the reality of the job. And so that place, that power plant, owes you decontamination showers or iodine tablets and support if you do get exposed. And just like here at the Sexual Violence Center, getting exposed to trauma is actually part of the work. Folks are only exposed to this trauma because they've come to join us as advocates. And we at SVC owe them support to be able to deal with it. Often our advocates do struggle to sort of metabolize all of the trauma that they come in contact with through their work here. You know, as counselors, we're really story collectors. We hear people's stories, whatever they want to share with us. And they're often not very happy stories. So our advocate may sit in a counseling session and hear a story and just take a little piece of that trauma with them. And then they go to the hospital and they hear a story and they take a little piece of that trauma with them. And over time, it can kind of build up. And it can be a struggle for folks. And so we work really hard at SVC to be really creative on how to be able to support our advocates to do this work, to build resiliency, to really be able to last with us in this work. And that's why we're really excited for the opportunity to work with Mind Body Solutions. I've met with them a couple of times, and I have to say I think they really get us, and I think they have a plan for how to do a project with us that's really going to speak to where our advocates are at and really is going to be able to help our folks. And the reality is that any work that is done to support our advocates through secondary trauma is inevitably going to have a positive impact on every single victim survivor who walks through these doors or who we meet outside in the courts or in the hospital or who calls our phone. And so anything that you can do to help, just know that we will put your money to excellent use and really hope that we can have this collaboration with Mind Body Solutions kick off soon. Thank you.